Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I'm an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The storm that Hope Logan Spencer unleashed continues to send shockwaves through every corner of Los Angeles. And as the dust struggles to settle, another emotionally charged chapter is about to unfold. Thursday, July 9th, promises a day filled with painful choices, unexpected confrontations, and impossible family bonds that refuse to be broken, no matter how desperately some people wish they could be. While the Forrester family scrambles to recover from the latest crisis and the consequences of Hope's daring move continue to ripple through Forrester Creations, another deeply personal battle is quietly reaching its breaking point. At the center of it all stands John "Finn" Finnegan, a man who has spent years trying to balance loyalty to the family he built with the painful reality of the family he was born into. Just when he believes he has a clearer understanding of where everyone stands, an unexpected visitor is about to force him into another emotionally exhausting confrontation that could reopen wounds everyone has fought so hard to keep closed. Elsewhere, Deacon Sharp finds himself facing one of the most difficult decisions of his life, even though he knows it is the right one. His marriage to Sheila Carter has reached the point where hope no longer feels realistic, and despite every promise of redemption and every dream of a peaceful future together, he realizes that some scars simply run too deep to heal. The divorce papers sitting between them are more than legal documents. They represent the collapse of a future they once believed they could build, despite the world's endless warnings. Deacon continues urging Sheila to stop delaying the inevitable and finally sign the papers so they can both move forward. From his perspective, there is nothing left to fight for, especially after Taylor Hayes admitted she no longer believes she can persuade Steffi Forrester Finnegan to ever welcome Sheila into their family. With that hope fading into nothing, Deacon believes dragging out the divorce will only create more pain for everyone involved. For Sheila, however, signing those papers means much more than ending a marriage. It is another heartbreaking reminder that every attempt she has made to reinvent herself has ended with another closed door and another person walking away. Even so, something inside her begins to shift as she quietly absorbs Deacon's words. Rather than continuing to argue or making impossible demands before agreeing to the divorce, Sheila ultimately decides that perhaps this is one battle she no longer needs to fight. She comes to the painful realization that Taylor cannot give her what she truly wants anyway, and holding on to her marriage will not magically earn her acceptance from Steffi or the rest of the Forrester family. In an emotional act that she likely hopes will demonstrate genuine growth, Sheila finally agrees to sign the divorce papers, officially bringing her marriage to Deacon to an end. In her own mind, this sacrifice proves that she is capable of putting someone else's peace ahead of her own desires, convincing herself that this difficult decision reflects the woman she has struggled so hard to become. Deacon, however, sees the moment through a very different lens, feeling nothing but relief that one exhausting chapter of his life is finally coming to a close. Yet anyone who believes Sheila will simply disappear after signing those papers doesn't truly understand the depth of her determination. While she may be willing to let her marriage end, she refuses to surrender her greatest desire: to build a relationship with her biological son, Finn, and her beloved grandson, Hayes Finnegan. That dream continues to burn inside her with incredible intensity, refusing to fade no matter how many obstacles are placed in her path. Driven by that hope, Sheila sets her sights on the one person she believes might still listen. With quiet determination replacing hesitation, she makes her way to the hospital, fully intending to speak directly with Finn. The moment she walks into the building, the atmosphere becomes heavy with anticipation, as though fate itself knows another emotionally charged confrontation is about to unfold. Without warning, Sheila enters Finn's office, catching him completely off guard and forcing him to confront the complicated emotions he can never seem to escape whenever his birth mother appears. Finn has already heard the rest of Taylor's troubling account, leaving him deeply unsettled by everything that has happened. Learning that Sheila pressured Taylor to intervene with Steffi only reinforces the fears that have haunted him for years. He desperately wants to believe there is good somewhere inside his biological mother, but every new incident makes defending her increasingly difficult. Before Finn can fully express those concerns, Sheila quickly insists that everything has changed. She points to the signed divorce papers as undeniable proof that she is no longer trying to pressure or harass Taylor into helping her. According to Sheila, that chapter is finished, and she insists she is searching for a better, more respectful path forward. Rather than manipulating others, she now hopes to appeal directly to the one person whose connection to her can never be erased: her son. With heartfelt determination, Sheila pleads with Finn to understand her perspective. She doesn't ask him to choose between her and Steffi, nor does she demand immediate forgiveness. Instead, she simply begs him to convince Steffi to hear her out one final time. Sheila believes that if she is only given a genuine opportunity to speak from the heart, perhaps Steffi might finally see beyond the fear and recognize that she is no longer the woman everyone remembers. She wants the chance to explain herself, to share her side of the story, and to prove that her only desire is to become part of her son's life without causing harm. In Sheila's mind, one honest conversation could change everything. But even as those hopeful words fill the room, Finn cannot ignore the painful reality standing in front of him. He knows Steffi's deepest fears are rooted in years of terrifying experiences, and convincing her to lower her guard would be asking her to forget trauma that continues to shape every decision she makes. That impossible conflict leaves Finn standing in the emotional center of two completely different worlds. On one side is the woman who gave him life, desperately insisting she deserves another chance to prove she has changed. On the other is the wife he loves more than anything, a woman who has every reason to believe Sheila remains dangerously unpredictable and capable of spiraling into chaos without warning. Steffi has never hidden her belief that Sheila is still a threat, someone who could lose control at any moment despite all her promises of redemption. Finn understands why his wife feels that way, and yet he cannot completely silence the lingering hope that perhaps his biological mother truly wants to become someone better. That painful emotional divide leaves him visibly uneasy as Sheila continues pressing for another opportunity, knowing that whatever decision he makes could profoundly affect everyone he loves. As these deeply personal battles unfold, another familiar face steps back into the spotlight. Forrester returns, bringing with him the wisdom and perspective that have guided the Forrester family through countless storms over the years. With so much turmoil surrounding the family, Eric may soon weigh in on Electra Forrester's complicated situation involving Will Spencer, offering his thoughts as emotions continue to escalate. At the same time, the ongoing conflict surrounding Logan and Forrester Creations remains impossible to ignore, with tensions showing no signs of cooling. Every new development threatens to widen the cracks already forming within the family, leaving long-time relationships hanging by a thread. As one crisis overlaps with another, Eric finds himself watching a family he treasures struggle to hold itself together under mounting pressure. Unfortunately for the Forresters, the turmoil is far from over. The consequences of Hope Logan Spencer's bold and daring actions continue spreading through both the family and the business, creating fresh complications with every passing moment. Just when everyone hopes the worst has finally passed, even more bad news looms on the horizon, forcing the Forrester family to scramble once again in search of answers they may not be ready to find. Alliances will be tested, emotions will run higher than ever, and impossible choices will continue reshaping lives in ways no one could have predicted. Every conversation now carries the weight of unfinished history. Every decision threatens another heartbreaking consequence, and every relationship stands vulnerable beneath the growing pressure. As Thursday's unforgettable episode draws closer, it becomes painfully clear that this is not merely another day in the lives of these families. It is another powerful chapter in a story where love, betrayal, forgiveness, and heartbreak remain forever intertwined, leaving viewers wondering whose world will be changed forever once the dust finally settles.